So recently I was having a conversation with somebody named Alicia Courtnidge, who is a colleague, someone very, very close to me, and someone who I consider to be the most innovative person in the field of solution-focused brief therapy. She has so many new and unique ideas about solution-focused brief therapy as it goes to research and to a way of analyzing it and a way of talking about it. And I've recently had conversations with her about my work. And she said something that was really, really interesting that I think is important going forward in the way that I teach, and helps kind of put some things in perspective in the way the solution-focused approach works. And it has to do with this idea of reflexivity. So I don't mean being reflective. The process of being reflexive is being aware of your own positioning in a conversation, or in this particular case, in a psychotherapy conversation, and how that positioning impacts what you say and what you hear. So, for example, I was doing therapy the other day with a family that was from another country and another culture. The mother and father had left this country, this culture. This was a very poor country that they had come from, and they came here to become educated. And the mother and father had acquired tremendously high levels of education and gone through, and had sacrificed a lot to get that education in America as opposed to their homeland. And now here they are in the country now. They've got this family, and their teenage son is, in their opinion, squandering the opportunity to get an education. He's not taking it seriously, failing classes, being mischievous, and those sorts of things. And the parents are incredibly frustrated, so much so that the parents verbally said, like, we don't care about his happiness. He needs to focus on grades. So my positioning as someone in America is someone that would experience that as unusual, right? Because in our culture, it's unusual to say, like, you don't care about your child's happiness. And my positioning allows me to say things like, or to be tempted to say things like, but, like, you should care about his happiness. Let me teach you how important happiness is. Let me teach you how, if he's not happy, he won't be getting good grades, like that sort of thing, to try to shift the family to a focus on happiness. But I have to understand that they come from a cultural background where their positioning and their ideas make sense in that particular context, and I have to trust them. So instead, my question was, what kind of grades would you rather him be getting? And they said, we'd rather him be getting good grades. And I said, how good of grades? And they said, A's and B's. A's and B's. And what about him lets you know that he's capable of getting A's and B's? Because he's very, very smart, he's very bright, and he's always been very smart and very bright. And what difference would it make to you when he was getting A's and B's? We'd be able to be calm and relaxed. Okay, so if our conversation helped impact your child's grades to the point where he's getting A's and B's, and you guys as parents be calm and relaxed, would you be pleased? And they said yes. Then I shift to the child. What are your best hopes for our talking? The child says, I want my mother and father to think good of me. I said, okay, and what difference would it make for them to be thinking good of you? He said, I would just be pleased to know that my parents view me as good and they don't view me as bad. Okay, so if somehow our talking led to you feeling like they viewed you as good, would you be pleased? And they said, yes. And the child said, yes. So now we're going to have a conversation that is focused on the increase of the child's grades, because that's the desired outcome of the mother and father, the increase of them being calm and relaxed, and the child being viewed well in their eyes. And we did a whole description. Suppose you wake up on a day where something has happened and your child is on his way to getting good grades, and your parents are viewing you as positive. What's the first thing you notice on this day? We did a really rich and detailed description. And just this morning, when I was driving into my office, I got an email from the mother, which it has been several days since we had that conversation, saying that the entire home has been turned around and my child is happy. So she said, or they said, that they weren't so focused on the child's happiness, but here it is, because we went where this family was going, circle all the way back after a few days of living in this world where they're making the changes that came about during the preferred future description. And the thing that she commented on in the email she sent me this morning, she said, everything has changed, his grades are going up, everything is wonderful, and my child is happy, which makes me so happy. So I just want you to be aware that in order to do solution-focused brief therapy effectively, I think the questions are important. But one of the things that have impacted me from my recent conversation with Alicia is not only are the questions important, but the positioning of the questions you ask, the timing of the questions with which you ask them, and the positioning of the professional in how they ask the questions also seem to matter. Now, I'm convinced that there is a ton of research and ideas and thoughts that need to go into this process, but I'm equally convinced that it's relevant. So that's why I'm sharing it with you now. So, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, give me a share, share it on your social media platforms, and also leave a comment below. I think we're kind of breaking new ground in these areas. So if you would, leave a comment below this video. And if you're watching this video in any place other than my website, head on over to elliottconley.com. I've got loads of free trainings and free material on solution-focused brief therapy over there. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy solutioning this week.